I've had bipolar disorder for over 20 years, and during that time I've learned many different strategies and many different coping skills that have helped me to get on with my life. Medication has played an incredibly important role in stability for me. Coping skills, learning how to manage my symptoms and learning how to cope with them has kept me out of the hospital. There are lots of different things that have helped me in this process. Illness Management and Recovery is a program that helps people learn about different strategies and coping skills to help them in the process of recovery. Here's how it works. You meet with a practitioner over several weeks to learn information, skills, and strategies to help you in your recovery process. These are strategies and skills that have been proven to work for people. As you learn and try them out, you'll focus on the different strategies that work for you. This video will show people who have gotten their lives back by using different strategies that have worked for them.
It affects a lot of us: depression, schizophrenia, manic depressive. I didn't know it was such a wide range. I didn't know that doctors could be people with manic depressive illness. I thought that I was so ill that I don't think I recovered because of the fact that I thought I was so different that I could never be like them. I think that hindered my recovery process.
In Illness Management and Recovery, you can learn about symptoms and treatment.
There's nothing wrong with being mentally ill. You usually go to a hospital because your symptoms are pronounced, and then they put you on medication.
The best thing that could happen to you is you find out that what you are, your diagnosis, because there's no help without a diagnosis.
I think mentally ill people are starting to get treated a lot better because people realize once the mentally ill people are on their medications that they're just like a normal person.
The fear I had before is not there. I feel free. Before I used to feel like a little bird in a cage. Not anymore. Now I go in and out. I do this, clean my house. I depend on myself. You have to put people at ease so that they can feel comfortable with you. Because if you're walking around with a long face, no one will come and talk with you. So you have to smile so that people will greet you. I feel good, very happy with the change I've made. Sometimes I look at myself and I can't believe it. How I used to be, how I am now. I can't even believe it myself.
In Illness Management and Recovery, you can get help setting goals toward recovery.
Through all my illnesses, the piano, I could always play, don't care how sick I was. I could always comprehend and hear music, don't care how sick I was. But music helped me to accomplish and get where I'm at right now. You gotta do something to counteract the illness. You know, you can't dwell on what made you sick or family or what made you sick. You can't dwell on that. Anything negative, you can't dwell on. You gotta try to get out the slump by reading a book or taking a walk. You gotta find something that interests you to get you out the slump that you're in. Because you don't want to be in the depression slump forever. You gotta learn strategies that work for you.
name's David. I do sculpture and I have bipolar disorder, and I want to talk about my sculptures and how they have helped me with my recovery. This is the first sculpture I ever made. It's a full body costume. It has about $200 worth of yarn on it. The art has given me a reason to live, basically, and it's been empowering for me to have art shows. This here is a mask. I made that in a few hours a while back. I've had about 15 shows in Philly at this point with a group called Coalition Ingenue, and we're mainly people who are either formerly homeless or have mental illness. And I had to do this, and I did one like this for the photo shoot. It's very positive for me to do these things, you know, and it's helpful as far as my self-esteem. I don't have the best self-esteem at times. I want to start sewing pieces together because I learned how to sew real well.
What's that one called?
Why the long face?
You develop strategies for reducing relapses and coping with symptoms.
You know, talking is a good remedy. When something happens in your life where you can't deal, if you talk to somebody, that will help, whether it's death or whatever.
I see Norman once a month because I'm doing well. But if I need to see him every 2 weeks, then we see each other. And it isn't a problem. And one day, if I decide to come and see Norman, I come right over, or I call him. But I prefer to come right over here, to the clinic.
The purpose of our meeting today is to discuss what you have been doing lately in order to keep your symptoms stable. What is it that you do to prevent a recurrence of symptoms?
Well, one of the things I do is I try to keep up with my medication. I take it on time, and I try not to let things, how should I say, to let them get to the point that my family can notice that I'm getting sick.
It's good to have that communication with somebody. I'm talking about somebody you could rely on and have faith in. Sometimes you can have faith in somebody that is a professional, like a psychiatrist or whatever. All the times, if you just out of a relapse, you ain't gonna feel comfortable with nobody. You know, you get support from a friend or a family, one family member, that helps. It don't have to be your whole family.
Like now, I have my spouse, Zoraida. Well, she realizes right away that I'm doing something different, that I'm not sleeping, that I'm sad sometimes. Sometimes I'm quarrelsome. But all the time, well, I tell her that no, that I'm not getting sick, and she tells me that I am. And well, of course, well, I tell her that's okay.
When Zoraida realizes something that you haven't noticed initially, and she mentions it to you, like you said, how do you feel about that? How do you manage that?
Well, I feel good because she's telling me about it for my own well-being. And like now, I tell you I have the responsibilities that I have now, but now I'm more aware.
It takes time. It doesn't happen with me overnight. It takes time, you know. Sometimes it takes years.
Well, this adjustment was very tough for me. I had a lot of problems. I did the best I could staying on my medication.
In illness management and recovery, you can learn about medications. It's critical to know the benefits and risks of the medication that you're taking so you can talk with your doctor and get the right medication and the right dose for you.
You know, I hate having to take medication for this, but you know, you have to do it, you know. And you could choose not to, but then you're going to be going from one extreme to the other, and it's going to be very severe.
Yeah, in the beginning I thought I didn't need these pills. I mean, the first 10 years I was on meds, I just felt I didn't need these pills. But later on I realized it was important because I was functioning better with them than without them.
They help me a lot. If I don't take them, I have a relapse.
In illness management and recovery, you find your individual path to recovery.
I was in a rest home for 2 years before moving out on my own and then getting my job at Babies R Us. You want me to check and see if we have them, and see if we're getting them in? Oh, that would be great. A lot of people have lost hope. You never give up hope. Never say die. Never commit suicide, because there was a time when with me that I was so suicidal, so unbelievably suicidal, that I didn't want to live. I couldn't stand what was going on mentally in my mind. But I'll tell you, there's miracles happening in medications and therapies and treatments now, miracles that never happened years ago. Thorazine is no longer the drug of choice.
The main thing, you can't give up. Once you give up, you know, you done lost yourself.
When I was recovering, I didn't have anyone to help me sort through the different strategies and coping skills that would work for me. Now with illness management and recovery, there is a program that will help people examine all of the different options that are out there for them and what will work best for them in their recovery.
James, come and get napkins, please, and put some forks on the table. You know, there was a time when my wife didn't get home until late. I would sit in the chair until she get home. Those days is over. I have the CD player. It had 5 CDs. I mean, there's plenty of things you could do.
I like to exercise. That's one of the reasons I changed my major to physical education in college, because on weekends I swim and lift weights, and every day I go out jogging, so that's a lot of fun for me. And it keeps me out of the bedroom and out of bed and just lying around.
I like mostly anything outdoors, really, and I like being around people, and I like different opinions. My own stuff ain't always right, so I like the conversation. I like women. Hey, like clothes, like shopping. I like just about what everybody else likes. Just be in the mainstream of life, in the main flow of life, and I think I'm about there. If I'm not, hey, I still got work to do, but I'm closer than I was.
Clozaril. I'm still recovering from this, and I'll probably be recovering from it all my life, but it gets easier after you get to know how to deal with my mood swings, and everybody's different, but...
Thank you. Take care, Stephanie. Bye, Lori.
We can get suggestions from each other to help us live with this.
Lemon juice.
It's been a privilege to work on this illness management and recovery program. I'm very happy that it's coming out to all you folks, and I hope it helps you all to learn how to cope with whatever illness you're dealing with. And I hope you always remember that you're a person first and foremost.